Transitioning from the awe-inspiring narrative of Revelation chapter 11, where we witness the power of God through the resurrection of the two witnesses and the sounding of the seventh trumpet, we now enter into the richly symbolic world of Revelation chapter 12. This chapter presents a cosmic drama, painting a vivid picture of the spiritual battles that have raged since the beginning of time and continue to impact our world today. Revelation chapter 12 opens with the appearance of a great sign in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. She is in labor, crying out in the pain of childbirth. This woman symbolizes God's people and the birth of Christ, who came from Israel. The pain and struggles she endures represent the trials and tribulations faced throughout history by those who are faithful to God. Then another sign appears in heaven, a great, fiery red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 diadems on his heads. The dragon, representing Satan, stands before the woman, ready to devour her child as soon as it is born. This imagery speaks of the relentless persecution and opposition faced by God's people and his plan of salvation. The woman gives birth to a male child who is to rule all nations with a rod of iron. The child is caught up to God and his throne, signifying Christ's birth, death, resurrection, and ascension. The woman flees into the wilderness, where she has a place prepared by God. This part of the vision reflects the protection and provision God offers his people, even in the midst of trials and persecution. War then breaks out in heaven. Michael and his angels fight against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fight back. But they do not prevail, and there is no longer a place for them in heaven. The great dragon is cast out, identified as the serpent of old, called the devil and Satan. This heavenly battle symbolizes the spiritual warfare that underpins the history of redemption. It reminds us of the ultimate victory of God over evil. The chapter concludes with the dragon persecuting the woman, but she is given wings like an eagle to escape, and the earth helps her by swallowing up the flood the dragon spews out of his mouth. The dragon then goes off to make war with the rest of her offspring. This portrays the ongoing struggle between good and evil and the persistent attempts of Satan to thwart God's plan. From Revelation chapter 12, we glean several practical applications. First, it encourages us to recognize the spiritual reality that underlies our physical world. The battles we face are not just against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces. Second, this chapter offers us assurance of God's sovereignty and protection. Despite the struggles and persecution, God's plan of salvation through Christ is fulfilled, and his people are safeguarded. Finally, Revelation chapter 12 inspires us to be vigilant and steadfast in our faith. It calls us to be aware of the spiritual warfare around us and to rely on God's strength to stand firm. Revelation chapter 12 is a powerful reminder of the cosmic battle between good and evil, God's sovereignty and protection, and the call to remain faithful amidst spiritual warfare. As we reflect on this chapter, let it strengthen our faith and resolve to live in the light of God's ultimate victory.